Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It is a pleasure for me to be here. I come from very far. It took me about 24 hours to get here. I'm from Panama, as they say. Panama is a beautiful country. It's a small country in Central America, which is known as the Bridge of the Americas and the heart of the universe. Panama is the only country which is geographically in Central America, historically in South America, and the culture is Caribbean. So it is a melting pot for a lot of races and nationalities, and as such, we have a lot of influence from many different regions in our gastronomy. Particularly, my family is from the Caribbean, from Barbados, and my cooking is influenced by the Caribbean flavors. I like telling stories, so I'm going to tell you the story of how I got here and how this book, Sin técnica pero con sazón, came across. I have always enjoyed cooking. My mother died when I was 4 years old, but I have memories of her in the kitchen and I and my sisters helping her. She liked to bake cakes and she will ask me like to mix a couple of the ingredients or turn on the oven and things like that. I think she was very creative in the kitchen and I may have inherited some of her creativity. And as I was growing up, my stepmom had a lot of cookbooks and magazines, and she actually gave me and my sisters some kids' cookbooks when we were growing up. And for family gatherings like Christmas, Father's Day, Mother's Day, we will cook together and have like a family feast with homemade meals. I started creating Sin técnica pero con sazón, which means without technique but with flavor, in 2020, in the midst of the quarantine due to COVID-19. I started experimenting in the kitchen, trying to have a healthy twist on regular recipes, trying new vegetables and what I called organic ingredients. During that time, I joined a WhatsApp group with some friends with the objective to share pictures of healthy foods that we were having because we were all concerned about our health and diets and or weight. I started taking pictures of my preparations, and also as a Christian person, I started reviewing what the Bible says about food, what to eat and what not to eat. I wasn't aware at that moment that all my study and my pictures will turn out to be a book. During 2021, I published my first book, which is called En la Montaña Rusa, and it's the story of my life. Remember, I like to tell stories. And also what I learned from every experience that I have, that I share in the book. So at the end of 2021, I started writing ideas for a second book, and it was mainly based on my reflections and analysis of Bible verses about food. I shared my ideas with my father, and after some discussions, I came across with the title, and I decided, you know what, this is going to be a cookbook. The title, Sin técnica pero con sabor, which means without technique but with flavor, it happened because a couple years ago I was preparing dinner with a friend, and he was questioning the way how I cut the beef. So I was like, you know what? Don't worry about my cutting techniques. You're going to enjoy the meal because I may not have technique, but I have flavor. So you will eat it and you will enjoy it. And he did. In my conversations with friends and even family, I noticed that whenever they tried to eat healthy and lose weight, they would begin some restricted diets and very insipid. And eating would become a torture, which it doesn't have to be. I tried telling my friends some of my healthy recipes, but they were skeptical. This is why I decided to write this book, to share easy, delicious, and healthy recipes that everybody can prepare. As I was working a full-time job and participating in many other activities, I made little progress with the book. By the end of 2022, I was questioning what were my next professional steps as a teacher, and one day I heard a preacher on the radio saying, "Write a book. It doesn't matter if it's a cookbook." And I was like, it caught my attention because, as I said before, I was in the process of writing a cookbook. So I decided that by January 2023, I was going to resume the project. Unfortunately, when January came, I wasn't in the best place, emotionally speaking, and I didn't resume the writing. In March, in the group of independent writers that I am part of, Independent Writers of Panama, they opened registrations to participate in the book fair, the International Book Fair of Panama, and I said, oh, I would like to participate, but I'm running behind with my book, so I didn't sign up. By the end of April 2023, I decided I was going to begin working on my future. I started reading self-growth books, and I decided to quit my job and look for other work opportunities. And again, I heard this same preaching on the radio saying, write a cookbook. So I was like, okay, I have to do this. When June came, I had made some progress with my book, but not much. As I was still thinking, it would be nice to participate of the book fair. Nevertheless, it seemed impossible. A couple days into June, in the same group of writers, they said again, there's still space if you want to join and participate of the book fair. So I said, you know what, sign me up, I'm gonna do this. I made a timeline, okay, I need to finish this in 2 months, and I was aware that a cookbook must be very visual, so I thought I needed a graphic designer to help me with the visual aspect of the book. I decided to hire a former student. His name is Adrian Orozco. He's 18 years old, and he's currently studying his first year of graphic design at university. I called him because I knew he's good with art. He had previously asked me about the process of writing a book, and I remember that while I was his English teacher, he told me that his favorite movie was Ratatouille because he likes cooking. So I said, this is the perfect candidate for this job. We worked together for 2 months, and I made it. I was able to participate in the International Book Fair of Panama with my books Sin Técnica Pero Con Sazón, and there I met Chef Gabriel Grimaldo, who was awarded with a Gourmand award last year. He told me about this event and the awards, and well, here I am. As I am a teacher, I have been to a couple schools during these 2 last months doing cooking sessions with students. I call them cocinaditos, sin técnica pero con sazón. And I hope to share with the students and the public in general that taking care of your health doesn't have to be boring nor complicated. It is possible to eat delicious meals while taking care of your health and to prepare them with regular ingredients. I also hope that my book can be used as an excuse for families to cook together as I did when I was growing up. I'm still working on my future. I don't know exactly where it will take me, but I would like to begin creating videos with my recipes and sharing them with the public as well. I don't know if I will publish another cookbook in the future. I have a divergent mind, and I am currently working on some songs as well. And I also have a few other books in the making. Whatever it is that I decide to do in the future, I am teacher Carlyn, so whatever I do, I will always try to share some of the things that I have learned with the public. So thank you, and I have a video that is like a slideshow of a few pictures that illustrate this story.